here with Paul Wedgwood, CEO of Splash Damage and game director of Brink. Now, tell us about Brink. It's not a typical first-person shooter.
No, well, you know, it's a brand new title from Bethesda Softworks. You know, the guys who made Oblivion, Fallout 3, so awesome games. Designed and developed by my studio, Splash Damage, in London, England, and we're the guys behind the Enemy Territory franchise for id Software for the PC. So we did Wolfenstein, Enemy Territory Quake Wars, both massive online shooters. But really what Brink does is blur the lines between multiplayer gaming and single-player gaming by being really one of the first shooters to allow you to play solo, co-op, competitively, and still advance your same in-game character the entire time.
Yeah, we've seen the trailer, the amazing trailer, and you have all these guys shooting each other, and they all look different. Will you be able to really customize your character that much?
Yeah, I mean, one of the big features of the game is persistent character advancement. So irrespective of whether you play offline or online, as you level up, you can buy new abilities, you know, cool things that allow you to specialize in different combat roles depending on the way that you want to play. Loads of awesome outfits that just make you look like a complete badass. Right. And also modify and customize your weapons. And we're showing all of that stuff at E3 today. So we've got tons and tons of new stuff on the floor and loads of people in these big co-op battles and stuff.
Oh, that sounds great. Now, tell us more about this new technology you have that's going to take all the clunkiness out of shooters.
Well, you know, it's a system called SMART. SMART stands for smooth movement across random terrain, and the idea behind it is really straightforward. You know, for the 10 years that we've been making shooters, we've been permanently frustrated with the fact that, you know, you run up to a table and you stop. You run up to a chair and you stop. You know, you try and jump onto a table, and because the level designer made it 2 inches too high, you can't. Or, you know, you look at a wall and it's only this high. Like, even a slightly chubby guy like me, I could climb over that thing, but as a super fit soldier, I can't. Right. It drives you crazy. So what we've done with this new system is we have like your sprint button, it doubles as a smart button, and when you've got it engaged, it looks around at what you're looking at to see if there's an opportunity to do something cool, and if there is, it just helps by doing it. So it will help you vault, slide, mantle, climb, jump between gaps and stuff. But it's not an autopilot. It doesn't take over control. You know, if I want, I can be running along, hit my smart button, jump, hit crouch. I'll slide along the floor. I can spin round, shoot at people. I can iron sight. I have a peak system. So if I'm behind crates, I can lean left, lean right, look up over the top. So it's a very fluid movement system. And it's not designed just to kind of add parkour to the game. It's about movement and shooting.
In addition to all the technology and the great shooting action, you developed a really cool story. Why don't you tell us where Brink is set?
Well, you know, Brink takes place on the Ark. It's an immense artificial floating city that was built at sea. Around now, 2012, it started in our universe, just off the coast of San Francisco, and then it's towed right out into the center of the Pacific. Around 2020, they lose contact with the rest of the Earth completely. No passing ships, no passing planes, complete radio silence. And then refugees start to arrive from nearby atolls that are flooded. So the, you know, suspicion is that it's all because of the rising Earth's oceans, but nobody really knows for sure. Well, 20 years later, these refugees, they're living in kind of favelas, you know, slums, real shanty towns, and everything that they have is begged or borrowed or stolen. And so a resistance starts, really, that's fighting for a fairer distribution of resources against what they consider to be, you know, essentially just a really oppressive security force that represent the original founders. Except the security don't see themselves that way. They see themselves as just trying to maintain law and order, and they see the resistance really as being terrorists. Well, in Brink, what's really unique is you can play through the entire game as the Resistance, witnessing their side of the story with unique cinematics, fully performance captured, and its big orchestral soundtrack and so on, going to some unique districts, and you can play through the entire security too. So all of the stuff you upgrade, your outfits and everything else, the guns look different, your outfits look different, even the weapons sound different because the security maintain them better. You know, the Resistance's weapons are all clanky, they have Resistance slogans, you know, painted all over them like never forget and all that kind of stuff. So really the idea is just to kind of provide an environment where you've got competing social factions in an isolated and horrific conflict that's in essence on the brink of civil war.
On the brink, nice. You got us all excited about it. When is it coming out and for what platforms?
It's scheduled for release on the Xbox 360, PlayStation 3 and PC in spring 2011.
Thanks very much. Brink looks awesome. Thank you for coming to the Bethesda Softworks booth tour.